Today I'm going to tell you how I got out of my debt mentality and started making some money. Money, 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 money.
My happiness is right where I left it. I can't remember when the simplest was all I wanted.
Hello everyone and welcome to Freedom Friday, where you learn how to free yourself and live your dreams. I'm Darienne from Dariawakened.com and it's Friday. So let's celebrate our freedom. So I want to talk about how I personally was able to get out of my own debt mentality. And it was causing me to not make money. And, I'm one of those where if I have any little issue going on in my life, I really want to explore it. What's the spiritual reason for this? What's going on here? Yada, yada, yada. And most people that teach you about your money problems, they teach you how it's a self-worth issue. And so I've been working on my self-worth issues for years and I'm still not making money. Like, I'm sensing this block. There's this block. I don't know what's going on. There's this block. Until one night. There's a bug in my face. Until one night, I had this really crazy spiritual experience where I'm sitting in my bed over there, which is where a lot of my spiritual experiences happen. And it's late at night, and I think my daughter had been sleeping next to me, and I don't know what I was doing. I'm always doing something at night, maybe reading or whatever, praying, who knows what I was doing. All of a sudden, I start to feel this weight, as if something's laying on top of me. It was super flippin' weird. And I'm actually going to do another video on how I got over my fear of the spirit world and death. Because this would have freaked me the F out if it had happened to me, years ago. But I felt this as if a person was lying on top of me and then sunk into me and started pulling me down. And I don't know if it was me, my Holy Spirit, or some other being. I don't know what the F it was. But I didn't get freaked out about it, and I was kind of just talking to it. And I was like, okay, I don't know what you are or what you're here to teach me, but I'm listening. Whatever you want. And I'm there now. I'm at that point, I'm not this perfectly spiritual student, I'm not that, but I definitely am at a point in my life where things like that don't freak me out as much as they used to. Or I can sit back and go, okay, what are you here to teach me? I'm open to it. Like, crazy-ish happens when you get into the spiritual world. So I'm like, okay, what do you have to teach me here? So nothing really happens. Eventually that feeling goes away, like 20 minutes later, and this big, epiphany didn't come to me or anything. I turn off my lights and I'm doing the thing as most of us do when we lie in bed and our brain just sort of runs rampant and we're just thinking about all different things. And I start thinking about, one of the things I love to do is think about myself winning a Grammy. And just really like, what's my speech going to be like? And then I love to visualize, and it's important. If you want to manifest things in your life, it's important to visualize those things, and because it raises your vibrations up to that thing, and eventually you will attract that if you continue to feed that. So I'm just doing that as I normally do. I've been doing it since I was little, imagining me winning a Grammy. And all of a sudden I got this, as I'm, doing the speech in my mind, I got this intuitive hit or some sort of message. This just knowing came to me that at that moment, usually, I want to get up and I want to make this speech that's like going to help the world. And, if I can do it, you can do it too. And that's how it goes in my head. And at this point, I got this knowing that I don't need to make a speech for anyone, that this is for me, that all I need to do in this moment of winning this Grammy is just enjoy the shit out of it. And it makes me emotional just thinking about it, because it's like, that Grammy's for you. That's for all your hard work and all your efforts to try to help the world and serve God and the universe and the higher good. And that was like, this is for you. You don't need to do nothing for nobody. And I started getting I got that. Then my brain started thinking about all the people in my life that aren't necessarily, I don't want to say that they aren't necessarily good people, because I believe everyone deep down is a good person, but they were, let's say they took a lot more in my life than they've given, and they don't really value me. Let's just put it that way. And they haven't really valued me throughout my life. And I started to think about those people, and what if I really did win a Grammy, and how certain people would be like, oh, I know her, and want to tell everybody, and kind of would want to jump on my bandwagon and ride my coattails. And how I would be like, but you never did anything to help me get here. You know what I mean? And yet you want the recognition, and you want to be able to tell everybody you know me. So that was going on in my mind. And I immediately started thinking, you know what? If these people haven't valued, like, everything that I've given to them has been such a beautiful gift, and they haven't valued it. And I began to value it. And I began to see, wow, everything I've given to them has been such a gift, and I never had to give them anything. I never had to give them anything. I didn't have to do that. And the truth is, I don't have to do any of these nice things that I do for these people. And truth be told, they don't even see them as a gift. So why do I continue to give something that is such a precious gift to someone? The second I give it to someone who doesn't value it, it's no longer the gift that it intentionally was meant to be. So then immediately I got this, I don't owe nobody nothing. And that was my thought process in this. And it was just this like intuitive hit. I don't know if it was like spirit guiding me, or just kind of putting the puzzle pieces together. And it made me think, then I got the big one. Whoa, I don't owe anybody anything. And I started to look back at my life. And I started to look at the fact that my whole entire life, I felt like I owed the world something. I felt like I did things like this, like Freedom Friday, and I did my charities, and I did all of this beautiful good work, and I made people feel good about themselves because I owed it to them. And I always felt this deep sense that I owed the world that. And in this moment, I began to realize that I didn't owe the world anything, but I carried this debt mentality, and it was showing up in my financial world. I was in debt to the world. I was in debt to the world. So it was like any bit of money that I got, I had to give it back to the world. Or any bit of love that I got, I had to give it back to the world. I was constantly in debt to the world. And having this revelation that I don't owe anybody anything. I don't owe anybody anything. Nothing. I don't owe you Freedom Friday, as much as that tweaks my ego, and it may tweak yours. I really don't owe it to you. It's a gift. I'm going above and beyond to give it to you. And it works the same with everything that you give. This is a gift that I'm giving you. And frankly, if you don't see it as a gift, well, you're just not going to receive it as a gift. You're just not going to receive it. And frankly, you just don't deserve it. Because you don't believe you deserve it. You don't see it as a gift. It's never going to be a gift. That's just how it is. It's the same when we receive the gifts of life. It's like, You're not going to get those gifts until you choose to see them as gifts, until you choose to value them. You're not going to get the gifts of life until you choose to value life. And you don't have to give anything to anyone. You don't owe anybody anything. And as soon as I really realized that, I really genuinely don't owe anyone anything, I was able to start saying no to people that I was not able to say no to my whole life. And not feel bad about it. And just feel like, you know what? I don't really owe you that. That would be wonderful if I did that for you. But the truth is, you probably wouldn't value it anyway. So I'm not going to give that to you. And that doesn't make me any less of a person for not wanting to give it to you. I just don't want to. You know? And it could seem to the ego as self-centered or conceited or just outright mean. But when you really think about it, if you're giving more than you have to give, if you're giving something that deep down you genuinely don't want to give, and deep down you know that the other person isn't valuing it, so they're never going to see it as a gift, they're just going to expect it of you, and you're really cheating yourself. And you're cheating the person because you're giving them like a little piece of resentment in the energy of that, quote, thing or favor or gift that you're giving them. It comes with a little bit of resentment, and it's terrible energy anyway to be given out to people. But if you could joyfully say no to somebody because, you know, you just don't want to, like, and know in your heart and soul that you don't owe it to them, that you don't have to do it. It's been the most liberating thing ever. And as soon as I started to realize that, I started making money in my business. I started feeling so much better about myself. My self-worth shot through the roof. And that block, it doesn't feel like it's there anymore. Now, I have to remind myself this every once in a while. I have to go, you don't owe anybody anything, Darienne. And anything you give is a gift. Anything you give beyond being yourself is a gift. Even just being yourself is a gift. But me, I started to realize that I don't have to be peppy and happy all the time. I don't have to be like that. I don't have to be like, hello everyone. Yeah, I'm like that most of the time because that's just how I am. But sometimes I feel like I have to be like that. But I don't. I can be in a bad mood. I'm allowed to be in a bad mood. I'm allowed to answer the phone. Hey, what's up? How you doing? I don't have to be like, hey, how was your day? How are you feeling today? If I don't feel like doing that, you know? If I do feel like doing that, then I can do it. But if I don't, and it's not genuine, I don't have to do that, you know? And neither do you. So I don't know. I'm sure that there are plenty of people in this world that will resonate with that. And that's why I didn't want to name this how to get out of your debt mentality, because it may not work for everybody and it may not be the reason you're in a debt mentality, but it was the reason I was not making money in my business and why I was detracting money, deflecting it as soon as I got it. I was just like, it was gone. And that block between me and money, and, you know, having worked on so much self-worth, I got to this one point where I had this mentality of being in debt to the world. And I know that there's a lot of you that may resonate with you and some may not. Maybe you just find this interesting and maybe this just completely doesn't resonate with you at all. But it's a story I feel I had to tell. It's a gift I felt I had to give. And I hope that you value it and that you see it as that gift, because I didn't need to give it. No. No, but I hope that you all can start to really stand tall in your true desires and understand that you really don't owe anybody anything. That you don't owe anybody anything, because the truth of who you are, I mean, honestly, God is going to love you regardless. And I can feel the spirit world nodding, yeah, you're loved no matter what. You don't have to do anything. And who cares if anybody in this world can't see how much you are absolutely loved and valued? Who the fuck cares? If every single person in your life cannot see how absolutely magnificent you are, if they can't see it, that's on them. All you have to do is be grateful that you see it. And when you don't, you pray for your eyes to be open to it. And maybe you pray for their eyes to be open to it, but you leave that up to God and the universe to teach that to those people, to help them open their eyes. You just stay in your own beautiful little bubble, knowing your own gifts and knowing who you are. All right? When you see everything as a gift, including money, just as much as life is a gift, just as much as watching this video and me connecting with you and you connecting with me right now is a gift, just as much as your breath is a gift. It's all a gift. And when you open your eyes to that and you realize that's it, that's all you have to do, that there is nothing more than seeing the world as a gift that you have to do in this entire planet, your entire life. You can freaking relax. Okay? I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you join the inspiration conversation on DariaWaken.com just below this video. I want to know how this resonated with you. I want to know if it resonated with you at all. Give it a like if it did resonate with you. Share it with your friends. If you know a lot of people that are stuck in debt mentality, trust me. I mean, I grew up in a broke-ass neighborhood, very low income, complete poverty. Everybody was on welfare where I grew up. Trust me, I grew up in a hood, child. You didn't notice. And I get it. You know, I was brewed in that mentality. So this is something that I've carried with me my whole life. And if you know anybody, or if you're somebody that has carried that debt mentality with you your whole life, maybe this might help you. Okay, I love you so much. Make sure you find me on social media at Darienne Empire and join my mission to spread love online. Mission Love at missionlovemovement.com. I love you, and I'll see you next week.